Manel Srinivas Present Institute of PG Studies, an exclusive MBA campus in Bondel, is a tribute to this great man's dedicated life and will remain as a monument of his fine services. Manel Srinivas Memorial Present Institute of PG Studies, founded in the year 1999, is the first management institute to affiliate to Mangalore University and to commence the MBA program in this region. In a saga of rapid growth spanning a decade and more, the institution has been marching towards excellence along the path illuminated by the vision of its illustrious founders. The institute has adopted a multi-pronged approach to maintain high standard in its academic endeavors, fostering managerial skill development and the right attitude to life and business among the students. The institute is guided by the governing council of eminent persons drawn from industry, business, academics, and community services. The director and faculty members spare no pains to prepare their students for a life of personal work, integrity, and honor. The alumni of the institute are well placed in organizations in India and abroad. The institution, in its adaptation to the changes in the business world, is presently operating in the state-of-the-art new building, which was inaugurated on 20th October 2015 by Padma Vibhushan Dr. Y.V. Reddy, the former Governor of Reserve Bank of India. In pursuit of excellence, the institute organizes guest lectures by eminent personalities under the banner of Manel Srinivas Knowledge Series. The series so far has witnessed the likes of Dr. G. Padmanabhan, the then Executive Director of RBI, Swami Sarvasthanand Head Sri Ramakrishna Ashram Rajkot. Today, as a jewel in the knowledge series, we have arranged a talk by the Chief Executive of the Indian Banks Association, Sri Mohan Tanksale, who is at the helm of affairs in the Indian banking. It is my privilege to introduce and welcome Sri Mohan Tanksale on this occasion. Sri Mohan Tanksale is the Chief Executive at the Indian Banks Association with nearly 39 years of experience in various capacities in banks. During his long illustrious career, he served three major public sector banks, that is, from June 28 to 2011, Sri Tanksale was Chairman and Managing Director of Central Bank of India, from where he superannuated in 2013. Prior to joining Central Bank of India, he was Executive Director at Punjab National Bank for a brief period of 27 months. He spent the first 35 years of his banking career in Union Bank of India, where he rose from a probationary officer to the rank of General Manager, IIB. Sir, your profound knowledge, rich experience in various capacities in banks, passion for excellence, continuous learning attitude, and effective leadership has inspired us to invite you to deliver a talk at our institute on the topic Future Direction of Indian Banking and Career Opportunities in Banking Sector. We are grateful to you, sir, for accepting our invitation. On behalf of our management, director, faculty, staff, and students, I extend a very cordial welcome to you, sir. On this momentous occasion, I request Sri Kurpi Jagdish Shenoy, President WNES, to garland Sri Mohan Tanksale as a token of our love and respect.
Explain you in brief that how exactly we treat the willful default. The willful default in the simple language is that if you have the capacity to pay and if you don't pay, that's a willful default, but that's a very basic definition. The fact is that enterprise, if they divert the money from the activity which they have, for which they have sought for, or they seek the money by misrepresentation, these are all in the definition of the willful default in frauds. And then we categorize these accounts into willful default. But before you declare them into willful default, you have to give them an opportunity. You have to give them a notice that why should you not be treated as a willful defaulter. He is given an opportunity to explain his position back. and when it is found that the position is not explainable, he is categorized as willful default. Willful default means that he will not be getting the credit support in the banking industry from any of the bank. The list of willful defaulters is circulated by Reserve Bank of India to the banking industry. It is available on the portal, but can always, when you give the fresh credit, you can look for that whether the person, promoters, the guarantors, the directors, the individual, whether they are in the list of the willful default. And once the willful default is declared, then the process of recovery starts. In our country, we have got 2-3 processes. We first invoke the SARFAESI Act, which is the very easy tool which has been given to the banking industry, where we put them on a notice of 60 days, and after that we take their assets into possession, and we are right to possess the asset and sell them and auction them. But let me tell you, things are not that easy. There also you find many problems. The promoter will create a lot of hassles. Sometimes the judiciary also comes in between, and such activities are stalled. And thus this is a challenge, but let me tell you, this is one tool which was introduced in 2002, has helped the banking industry in the recovery, the SARFAESI Act. We have got the Debt Recovery Tribunal Act, DRT Act, which you know, where we are actually expected to have the decisions on the principle of the money suit. The decision should be coming in 6 months to 1 year time. Unfortunately, that has also lost its I would say importance, and the cases get delayed for maybe 3 years to 5 years because of the various reasons. But government has again taken the notice of it. We from the banking industry have been regularly pushing that these cases have to be resolved, and a project is being worked out for the EDRT, and quite likely when all these things come into picture, the government's push and initiation, the results in the DRT will get expedited. What happens that if you really don't get the results or the orders from the DRT in good time, that's good enough a time for any borrower to divert the money. The assets can always be diluted, and it's very, very difficult, although you get the orders passed that he cannot dissociate with the assets and all, but at times it's really challenging. And that's how the banks will get into the recovery mode. When it comes to the bankruptcy, let me tell you that since our bankruptcy act is really not supporting the way it is available in the developed countries, typically it is quoted that in the USA Chapter 7 and Chapter 11, which are very, very convenient, where even the borrower can also file his bankruptcy. Today we talk of bankruptcy only from one side, that only the bank will call you an insolvent and then again the case goes for a law. But this bankruptcy code is going to support both. And this is, everything is directed towards early resolution of an issue. And it is true that if the issue is diagnosed in good time, if it is addressed in good time and resolved in good time, you have the results are good. If not, you probably don't get the results. The recovery of the money is very, very difficult. And this is one area where a lot of thrust is being given, particularly on the credit monitoring side. Let me tell you that this is one area where the banking industry is still improving upon that, where we operate as a partner with the borrower. If you operate as a lender with the borrower, it means I just lend the money and forget about it. That doesn't work. You have to engage with his business activities, in the sense, at least oversee what is happening, how the things are moving, and there are various tools created to have a good monitoring systems. And as you are learning the banking or you are aspiring for a banker, I think credit is one area where a lot more can be done towards the credit monitoring. People specialized skills of and HRM management. Let me tell you, this is one area where, as I said, that public sector banks are really suffering. Private sector banks, as they have their open policy of recruitment, they can really go for a good talent. Let me tell you, on the payment side, let me clarify you, I'm a representative of the Indian banking industry, so I'm not here only for public sector or private sector, but I must tell you the picture is that up to a certain level of middle management, it's not that the private sector is paying much more than the public sector, it's all comparable. The only thing that they are in a position to recruit the people in the way they would like from the campuses. Today, as I said, the banking has become very, very complex. We need the induction of the talent at the initial level itself. And let me tell you that the public sector banks were given the autonomy to recruit the students from the campuses. It happened for a few years, but then somewhere the public interest litigation invoking Article 14 of the Constitution, it talks of equality, that how do you choose that I go to X campus or Y campus and why not all campuses. And that's how this campus recruitment has been stalled for last 3 years, if I'm not wrong, from 2013 onwards. Unfortunately, Central Bank is the bank where the case was filed. And thus the campus recruitment, as you asked me, probably yes, it has been stopped. But government is again seized of it. We all are asking for it. It may happen in a different shape. And I thought I can give you a little brief that a committee has been set up under Justice Shah to see that how the public sector banks can really contract the good talents from the markets. If not a campus selection, can you really look at how can you really get the cream of the management institutes, the cream of the boys who go to different management institutes, and various options are being looked at, like CAT scoring or MAT scoring or GET scoring. And I understand various public sector undertakings like ONGC or NTPC, they all use these scorings for recruitment purposes. So let me tell you that the IBA is also looking at this and they are working on it. What comes, you will get to know maybe in a couple of months. Let me tell you that as you heard me or as you heard about my biodata on the HR, as I learned from my guru, Shri Leela is sitting here, I think that the first point of contact in the banking industry is the people. And if your people are well taken care of, if your human resources is well managed through proper enablement, proper empowerment, you can always command the productivity from them. And thus, this has to be really seen in the banking industry, that we improve our human resource management practices better than what they are. Yes, there are hurdles of unions and all that, but then over the period, let me tell you, all those things are getting diluted. The next challenge, as I said, is a differentiated banks and adjustments in the banking landscape. It's really, at times we also question ourselves as a banker. Do we really need the payment bank? Do we really need the small banks? Although we have that kind of infrastructure of RRBs or local area bank, but then I think the fact remains that if you really want to move from a cash to a less cash society, you have to have a very strong payment delivery mechanism. And thus, the payment banks who are essentially going to handle only the savings and current account, maximum balance being 1 lakh, no lending activities, the entire money which they will be handling will have to be parked in the securities, but then probably they will provide a more efficient movement of funds. Today remittance and payments is one of the big requirement of the industry. Let me tell you that just 2 days back the RBI has also approved the Bharat bill payment systems, where you will have many kiosks in the country who will be accepting the bills of any kind, and everything you can pay from one center, or maybe the mobile will be given that kind of app for the bill payments. So payment banks will make certainly a difference, but then how do you really prepare for this challenge in the public sector or private sector? Now whatever efficiency which we expect from these banks to offer to the customers, I think the banking industry will have to upgrade themselves. Meaning thereby you will have to make your internet banking much more friendly, much more convenient, and more so the mobile banking. I am sure most of them would be operating on the mobile banking. I am sure all of you should be knowing that the mobile wallets are very, very popular. And now many banks have come out with their mobile wallets as well as the mobile banking. And the mobile banking, which is not only available on the smartphones, but which is also available even on the ordinary cell phones. I think if that comes through the banking industry, I say that even if these banks operate in the same space, I will only expect these banks to create the new generation of clients who are not with the banking industry. Instead of cannibalization of the business, some cannibalization will happen. You can't stop it. But the majority of business should get created, and that is how they are also expected to open their branches in the unbanked areas. The small banks have also been given the target that they will be lending only to the small sector. The contours have been defined that what kind of assets they can create, and thus majority of their assets, 75% of their assets will have to be of the size of 25 lakhs and below. So they will be largely operating in the rural, semi-urban, or even if they operate in the urban or metro area, they will be catering to the needs of the small business enterprises. And thus, as I said, that the credit absorption capacity of the country is huge. And let me tell you, even today, the credit is being extended by the informal sector rampantly at very high rates. And people are taking that money, your daily vegetable vendors, your various other small businesses, they are happy at least money is available. But what kind of interest they must be paying? On every 100 rupees, they have to pay 10% per day. But unless those sectors, I mean, they are all moved to the banking sector, I think the inclusion cannot really happen.
So one question is, how does the banking sector absorb the pressure from the central government to push their pro-people policies? Education loan is one example.
To answer your first question, that pro-people policy, let me tell you, as a lender, for me, I have to look at what is a viable activity. And let me tell you, every activity which we are either doing under Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana or Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, or before that any other Yojana, they were all viable. That is why we lent the money. There was no basic fault in lending the money and in the viability of that business. The basic flaw is in the environment which we have created, that since it is the government pro policy, if you don't pay, chalta hai. So this chalta hai environment in our society has to go. Somebody has to tell him that let me tell you, as a banker, when we go to the customer we meet the customer and he says with pride, sir, 40 years back, 50 years back, my father took 5 lakhs loan, today I have a limit of 50 crores. Both my senior bankers will agree with me that there are a number of examples in the banking industry where the customer claims and takes a pride. Sir, मैं चड्डी पहन के आता था पिताजी के साथ. I had only 5 lakhs limit and today I have a 50 crore limit. So if the customer behaves, if these small customers had been paying their dues in good time and have been deploying their money into the businesses, I am very sure each small businessman would have become a sizable businessman. But then we probably either did not create proper environment. The other issues also which are related to the society is that today when the loan is available to the person, his first requirement is a consumption. And that's why security, that's why pension, and all these things. I mean, tell me a small person, if something goes wrong in his family, he will take out that money for the doctor first or he will refer to the bank. He has to go to the doctor. I mean, these are a couple of issues which are there. So there is nothing like the banks have to resist, banks have to take care that they don't dole out the money. Banks have to lend the money. If you lend it prudently, ensuring viability, trying to do a proper due diligence and trying to give a message, look here Baba, Today you have taken 50,000 from me, if you come back to me, you will get 5 lakhs afterwards. That's all. I hope you are satisfied.
Feeling thankfulness is the beginning and expressing gratitude is the completion of a virtue. I take pleasure in conveying appreciation and gratitude on behalf of the management, faculty, staff and students to all those who made today's evening a memorable one. Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Mohan Tanksale, the Chief Executive of Indian Banks Association, respected President of, I would like you to join. Sir, please.
It would look nice to have a vacant chair,
Yeah.
sir.
Respected President of Women's National Education Society, Mr. Kurpi Vishanay, beloved Vice President, Mr. Manel, members of the governing board, heads of various institutions of Besset Group, distinguished audience, faculty and students, ladies and gentlemen. The focal center of today's program is Mr. Mohan Tanksale, Chief Executive of Indian Banks Association. As we know, IBA is a high-powered forum of 229 member banks consisting of PSU banks, private sector banks, foreign banks which are having their branch in India, and urban cooperative banks. The motto of IBA is to create a wonderful environment for Indian banking. Mr. Tanksale, being the CEO, is a busy person handling all the activities of the IBA, and hence on Indian banking he has a first-hand exposure to the past, awareness of the present and vision for the future. In his lecture he has covered the banking developments in a nutshell and gave authentic insight into the future of Indian banking. For the MBA students, he has guided regarding the career opportunities and growth prospects in the banks. He has been very kind to take different questions from the students and also from the audience, and he has answered all the queries in a very clear and convincing way. Really, he has made the evening a memorable one with information and ideas flowing everywhere in abundance. For a veteran banker like him, the ideal memento would be the words of appreciation, which are currency of great value, printed in a thankful heart. Sir, with a thankful heart, we thank you very much for coming down all the way from Mumbai and sharing your time with us. Thank you. Shri Kurpi Jagdishanai, our President, is a source of inspiration and support to all of us. He supports us with his presence, motivates us with his smiles, and guides us with his words of wisdom. Thank you very much for your presence and gracing the program on dais today. Thank you. Our dynamic Vice President, Sri Manel, has been continuing the great work started by his illustrious father decades ago and holding the MSNM flag very high. He is an encouraging leader with vision and perseverance. Thank you very much, sir, for enabling this program, for being with us and for sharing the dais with the chief guest. Thank you. The Governing Council of the Institute has highly professional and visionary members who have excelled in their field, guiding us for a fast-track growth. I acknowledge my gratitude for their support in making this program a reality. Without them, probably today's program would not have been a reality. I profusely thank the members of the Governing Council for this. I acknowledge with the deep appreciation the presence of all the learned members of the management of the Parent Society. Thank you very much, sirs, for your support and for gracing the function. I thank the esteemed audience consisting of veteran bankers like Dr. Tingalaya and serving bankers, heads of various institutions including Besant Group, professors and other academicians, members of professional and service organizations, representatives from commerce, industry and business, parents, alumni, local public and all the invitees who have responded to our invitation and gave us an opportunity to serve in our campus. Thank you very much for your gracious presence and active listening. Press plays a great role in disseminating information and showcasing the useful events happening around us. I thank all the members of electronic and print media for widely covering today's program and for making available this speech coverage in TV on a later date. This will be available in the local media also. Thank you. Thanks are due to Mr. Anand for nice welcome speech and the apt introduction of the chief guest. In fact, he is the coordinator of this program. Big thank you to Anand. I appreciate the involvement and active participation of the faculty, staff and students in organizing this program in spite of today being a holiday. Congratulations and thanks, Team MSNM. Thank you again, one and all.